then Shaytan at the same time, in parallel, does his work and tries hard to divert that person. A person should never be ignorant of the fact that, oh, I am free from Shaytan. Because Shaytan is always running after us. And he wants to destroy us. Especially when a person repents, does tawbah at the hand of a wali of Allah, and starts to travel on the journey of tazkiyah and wants to purify his batin, because tazkiyah means to purify the zahir, the external, and the internal, the batin, to do both. Spoke the first nasiha Hazrat gave to me, and it was this, that be careful, save yourself from bad company, save yourself from the bad majlis, from the bad gathering, and from a bad place. And such a valuable point Hazrat made. Total, you can say, a summary of the Quran and the Hadith. Why? Because he was kamil, complete, and he knew, my Shaykh, that when a human being starts to do dhikr, adhkar, starts tahajjud and nawafil, voluntary actions and good deeds and hajj and umrah, and he starts to do work of the deen, go on jamaat, sit in tabligh, etc. Person starts to do all of these good deeds and he becomes good, and these are all the paths to success. At that time, there's a thing that is created in insan that, oh, I'm fine now. And what effect is it going to make to me? Anything negative? There won't be no effect. I've just done chilla many days in Allah Ta'ala's path, and no difference will be made to my mind if I go here or there. I've just done some work of the deen, doesn't make any difference. I've done ibad all night long. I've done dhikr of Allah. I've just come from a good gathering. So if I sit, maybe in bad company, it won't make any difference. And these thoughts come, oh, I pray salah. What difference will this make to me? But be careful, beware. Remember one thing for sure. One thing for sure, that just like a person starts to improve and become better with good company, and the effects of good company makes that person good and pious, then more so than that, the effect of bad company is much more in multiplication and effect and severity. A person can be on any maqam, status, piety. Allah Ta'ala can give a person high maqam for such a period of time, but even then, never should a human being think that I'm free from bad company. Don't sit in bad company, don't sit in a bad gathering with bad people. Precious point I'm explaining to you now, valuable. So, and explain this in your homes and in your environment, explain this. So the Shaykh said, okay, Shaitan said, if you want to become like me, then this is a big statement you've said. He said, I'll make you like me. It won't take long, don't hesitate. And look, he was a buzurg, shaykh, high status. He said, forget the story. He said, within a minute I'll make you like me. I've got the method. He said, how? What shall I do to become like you? His Shaitan said, I'll tell you 2 actions to become like me. Just do these 2 actions, and then you won't become a sinner, you'll become like me, just like him. He said, okay. Shaitan was now explaining his attributes. That there's no sin. All of the sins emanate from Shaitan. Remember this first. So he said, Shaitan, tell me, imagine that I want to become like you. Shaitan, he's saying, I want to become like you. To become like Shaitan, think about, imagine what else is left in life if a person becomes like Shaitan. And he said, just 2 things you have to do. 2 actions, 2 statements, and suddenly you'll totally become like me. You'll become my inheritor, and you'll become like Master. Do dua that Allah Ta'ala does not allow us to implement these 2 factors. Say Ameen loudly. Because if these 2 factors, elements come into our lives, if we listen to this and we have these factors or elements in our life, then tell me, what are we? Where's our salah? Where's our dhikr? Where's our Quran? Where's our recitation of verses? That if a person, when he passes away, Allah Ta'ala says that this was you. You were sinful, you did these same actions, that makes a person like Shaitan, and it becomes like Shaitan. You were doing these actions in your life. Tell me, how severe and sad. How can we be saved? So these 2 elements, factors, points that Shaitan told him that if you do these, you'll become like me. Learn these 2 factors and make a total solid niyyah and promise that these 2 actions will never come in life. Say inshallah. Totally forget the deeds you're doing, the worship, etc. So Shaitan, he said, quickly Shaitan, tell me that I would be grateful if you tell me these 2 factors and elements that in your life. He said, come close to me, I'll tell you then how to become like me. So become bayah on my hand, just like a sheikh gives bayah. So he said, here, pledge allegiance to me. Shaytan said to the Shaykh, come to me. Listen to me, do tawbah on my hand, and I will make you my inheritor, and you'll become like me, totally you'll do actions like me. All of the actions. He said, please tell me, what are the 2 actions I have to do? He said, first action number 1 is that in salah, become negligent in salah. So, Shaytan said, point number 1, that if you are lazy and negligent in your salah, you delay it, you'll become like, he said, yeah. Shaykh said, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do tawbah at your hands. And what's the second point, Shaytan? That if I practice that point, I'll become like you. Shaytan said, the second action, I'll tell you another one, because 2 actions are enough for you to become like me. He said that you'll do all the sins after that openly. This is what Shaytan wanted. You'll implement the sins and make other do sins. What's the second factor? The Shaytan said, if you do it, you'll become like me. He said, lie. If you lie, you have to swear and promise, then you will become even more like me. Say astaghfirullah. A person who swears in the name of Allah and lies, that today me and you, and this is the hal of the Muslims, we have the phone, and when the phone rings, tell him I'm not home. Harm and batil, we won't be able to correct our children with sticks and beating them or scolding them. First, if we want to correct somebody, tell that person to correct the salah. No, I can hit this person, he'll pray. Or don't ignore and say, no, when they grow up, they'll pray. This is what we do. We ignore the fact that children are praying. We ignore them totally, 100%. I swear by Allah, we are making our children shaitan with our own hands. We are making children shaitan. Tomorrow they will realize what will be the hisab. Practice on this. What will be the result? What do we need to become? We need to become solid on the platform of salah. What salah are we going to pray? That will make us accepted in the court of Allah. For that, what do we need to do? Say it loudly. What do we need to do? We need to make effort. We need to try. What do we need to do? Effort. And what's the tariqah to improve our salah, to correct our salah? Say it loudly. The dhikr of Allah. Subhanallah. What's the action? The dhikr of Allah. Because the dhikr of Allah, it goes inside, it absorbs into the heart and gives power and strength to that person. It puts nur into the person's heart. And the first effect is on salah, namaz. Do you understand what I'm saying? That why do we do dhikr of Allah? For this reason.